So my record collection is large, and one of the parts of it I'm most excited about is my Kanye West discography. I have all of his studio albums and a ton of other really rare albums and some bootlegs. In this video, I'm going to show them off. So the past week has been a little weird in Kanye news. As we have all seen, whether or not you were at the shows, he has been doing crazy rants at his shows, as he usually does, but this time they're a little more off base, a little more intense, and a little longer than usual. As of a couple days ago, he was hospitalized, and I sincerely hope he gets the help he needs. It's really easy to dismiss people, and I think mental illness is no joke. I want to make sure we show him respect in this time, and we don't write him off as a crazy person, because that's pretty insensitive. And I want to focus on what he brought to music. His discography. We're starting off where it all began, with The College Dropout, his first album. Everyone knows this album is a landmark album in hip-hop history. I think anyone, even if they're not a fan of recent Kanye albums, says that this is a great hip-hop album. This unites the people that don't and do like him. If you don't know it, you should listen to it if you like hip-hop at all. I don't, however, just have one copy. I also have a copy of it with a white cover. This is, I think, a UK exclusive. I'm not even sure the origin. I just found out there were two versions of it, and I had to get both. So, I've never seen this one for sale in America. If you guys know, why this exists, please write a comment and let me know. Up next is Late Registration, his album right after The College Dropout. And this one was also greeted with a lot of acclaim from all sorts of hip-hop fans. This is before he went experimental. He was still doing those soul beats, and this is another really solid addition to his discography. After that, we are brought to Graduation, which was his foray into kind of dance hip-hop. He worked, with Daft Punk on Stronger, a lot of more popular artists. He has a song with Chris Martin from Coldplay. He propelled himself into the mainstream with this album, and this is a lot of people's favorite. I'm going to preface this by saying, I think all of his albums are 10s to me. He's my favorite artist, but I think this is my least favorite of his releases, which is hard to say because I still think it's a perfect album. But I don't know, there's just something about this one that doesn't steal me as much. This album was never officially pressed onto vinyl, so this is a bootleg. There's a company, I believe, based out of Germany that bootlegs a lot of hip-hop albums that don't get vinyl releases. Sometimes they're kind of quality, but the Kanye ones I have are really solid. Came on a couple colors, but I had to get the original bootleg pressing on this pinkish purple marbled vinyl. I think it matches the color of the cover really well. Up next is my favorite Kanye record, which is kind of a controversial opinion, 808s and Heartbreak. This is a drastic change from Graduation. It's a dark synthy album where he utilized 808s and auto-tune to make a really moody, atmospheric journey, and honestly, I think this is his best work. He paved the way for the careers of The Weeknd and Drake and all of these people that did very similar things after the fact. This was a groundbreaking album in hip-hop history. Really nice packaging on this one. As you can see, it's this massive gatefold. I don't know where that CD went. Must be somewhere. But I think this packaging is really great. And this era of Kanye is pretty awesome with his suits, his tweed suits and little hearts on the suit. Very emo Kanye. So I'm a fan. This next one is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. This was his return to not necessarily positive, but more bombastic production. It was a lot more intricate and in your face than 808s was, and it was for the people. I think this album was what the people wanted from Kanye, and the album after this is for him. This actually has multiple interchangeable covers that you can fill the box with. I like this one the most. I think it's pretty cool. Another massive gatefold. This is Kanye showing off his artistry, how he likes things that are flashy and big. This is another bootleg from the same people. This is Yeezus, and I think this is hilarious because the actual CD release of Yeezus was just a blank CD case with a red sticker. So the fact that they made the sleeve into a CD, I thought this was really funny. Unintentionally funny, I'm sure, but I got a kick out of it. Came on a cool, clear vinyl. Now the first pressing of this bootleg had an error. It actually had Bound to, the final track, listed on the label, but it wasn't on the record. So myself and a lot of other people wrote in and they sent us new copies with the actual corrected track list on the record. So that was really nice of them. If you're looking for high quality audio, the bootlegs are not where you should look. Honestly, these are more novelty than anything else. So if you just want a physical copy, on vinyl, go for it. This album is super aggressive. If you haven't heard it, it's very different than everything he's done before. It's almost punk rock hip hop. And it's funny because Lou Reed, right before he passed away, wrote a really good article about why he thought this album was amazing. And Paul McCartney said it was one of his favorite albums of the year. If you're not into Kanye or hip-hop, you might want to give this one a listen. It might surprise you. And finally, we have his release from this year, The Life of Pablo, which, as you know, I gave a perfect 10 on the channel, and I think that score still holds up. This album is another bootleg. He really hasn't put most of his discography on vinyl, which is a shame, but thankfully this company's doing the Lord's work and putting out all of his stuff that needs to be. Also on a clear vinyl, much like Yeezus, there actually was another color that they sent out seemingly randomly before it sold out. It's on this really cool translucent pink, and I actually procured a copy of it, so I'm going to have that one as well. That's in the mail to me right now, otherwise I would show it to you, so really excited for that one. So that's his discography. However, I have a ton of other records, some cool bootlegs, and some random things I'm going to show you right now. This is Watch the Throne, which is a collaboration album he did with Jay-Z. I haven't opened this record because I just think the packaging is fantastic. It's a great display piece, and the records themselves are picture discs, which are not things I usually play, so I don't know how much play it would get on the turntable. This is much more of a novelty, but the picture discs are really cool. These hybrids of Kanye and Jay-Z as like animals, like half and half. They're really cool, but yeah, this is staying sealed for now. Sorry, guys. Speaking of picture discs, this is a picture disc for the song Power off My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Everyone knows this song. This was a single. And this picture disc is really cool, really graphic. So for graduation, he had 4 songs that he made picture discs out of. And honestly, they're kind of hard to find. Pretty glad that I have them. First one is Good Life. This one actually came with a generic white sleeve. They didn't have the original clear sleeve for it, so maybe I'll upgrade one day. Next up, we got Flashing Lights. Homecoming, which he did with Chris Martin from Coldplay. And last but not least, Stronger. Also got one for Gold Digger. It's on gold vinyl. It's actually not gold vinyl. It's a black vinyl with a picture disc-esque gold mark on it. So, yeah, it doesn't get much play because it's a picture disc, but great song. This is, I think, the first single from 808s and Heartbreak, Love Lockdown. Forgot I had this. This is the bootleg of Watch the Throne. As you can see, it's not nearly as cool as the official release, and I believe it's on, yeah, it's also on clear vinyl. Every mega fan has to have some singles, so if I see a single I don't have, I buy it. Then of course we have Cruel Summer, the album that Kanye did with Good Music, his label. A whole bunch of people on it. Big Sean, Ghostface Killah, Pusha T, a whole bunch of people. This is an album where the first half is amazing and the second half is terrible. So, unfortunately, only disc A gets a lot of play. This bootleg is on white marble, which actually looks really cool. It was the limited version of the bootleg. These are pretty funny. These are 2 picture discs from South Park. When he was featured on South Park twice, he each had a song. He had, Gay Fish. And then he had My Bitch Ain't No Hobbit. And these are the picture discs. I believe they were for Record Store Days back a couple years back. Pretty funny. This is a weird one I randomly picked up. It is the a cappella album, which is basically just a bunch of songs, mostly from 808s, but it's just Kanye's vocal track and no beat. It was weird and I had to buy it. Another unofficial one that's very cool. These are all of the songs that Kanye sampled in his first 2 LPs. So it's a lot of good soul and Motown and R&B stuff. Has the whole listing right here. So bootleg that came out recently. This is the Kanye West 2001 demo tape. A bunch of tracks that ended up being tracks down the road on future albums, more fleshed out. But this is his tape he had before College Dropout, and honestly, it's damn good. Kid was good from the start. Another bootleg. This is Khan, the Louis Vuitton Don, another mixtape of his. Recently put on vinyl as a bootleg, of course, and another great mixtape. Another bootleg mixtape. Kanye West, Addicted to Retail. Another solid listen. These are a bunch of tracks that Kanye was featured on. Stuff that wasn't really on albums, and a lot of the tracks were really good. Last but not least, the Holy Grail, possibly in my vinyl collection. Kanye West's Late Orchestration. Comes in this pretty basic Rockefeller promo sleeve. Has a sticker on top showing the Late Orchestration cover. Late Orchestration was a live show he did for 300 people where he performed hits from his first 2 albums with a live orchestra. And there's a DVD of it and a CD, but the record is obscenely hard to find. I don't know how many of these were pressed, but the day I saw it pop up on Discogs, I freaked out and I bought it. And I'm pretty happy. I only paid about $60 for it. It tends to go for a lot more. It sounds so good. The concert, I wish I could have been there. A lot of rap shows, they do little parts of their song, take little breaks just to the chorus. Kanye rapped through his whole song front to back for 15 tracks. He was out of breath. You can hear it. It sounds really good. I don't know if this necessarily sounds better than the CD. However, I'm really happy to add this to my collection. So that is my Kanye vinyl collection. If you think I'm missing anything, please let me know. I'm pretty sure I have almost everything that exists. I think I'm going to take the title of the biggest Kanye vinyl collection on YouTube. If you want to challenge that, feel free. Leave a comment. Let me know. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. New videos every Wednesday.